Nigeria's crude oil production rises to 1.3 million barrels per day in July, says OPEC. Federal government takes delivery of compressed natural gas-powered buses to ease transportation. Plus, oil prices retreat as market refocus on demand concerns. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Neka Oko, your guide. And now to the matter of the day. This year's International Youth Day has its theme from Clicks to Progress, Youth Digital Pathways for Sustainable Development. Today's youth are at the forefront of change, making their mark on every aspect of society, from driving digital innovation to championing social causes and more, while digital inclusion should be improved. Youth are largely recognized as digital natives, utilizing innovation to drive change and create solutions. With the 2030 deadline for the SDGs approaching, the role of youngsters in digital innovation is essential for addressing global challenges. And to discuss this with us is Shamshudeen Aderoju, Programs Manager, Shams Bridge Consult. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, moderator. Good morning and happy International Youth Day.
Thank you very much. Now, how prevalent is the digital divide among Nigerian youths, especially in rural areas?
Thank you very much for that question, moderator. Before we discuss the prevalence of the digital divide amongst Nigerian youths, it's important we reiterate the statistics of young people in Nigeria. Statistics has it that we constitute about 60% of the total Nigerian population. So which means that we are actually one of the very formidable force to be reckoned with when you talk about decision making in Nigeria. Statistics and also research has it that there's a lot of disparity between youths, amongst youths in the rural and urban areas. We are meant to understand that if you rank it on the level of geopolitical zones in Nigeria, Southwest has the largest, and the reason is just because of the fact that we have a lot of infrastructure and tech hubs in Lagos, Ibadan, Ogun. And then strictly following that is the South-South and the Southeast, which are gradually coming up because of investment in that area too. Then we have the North Central, and of course, following that is also the Northeast and the Northwest. And the reason why this is not far-fetched, number one is that infrastructure is not something that is evenly distributed amongst these people. In a situation whereby you have an urban area that has uninterrupted access to internet facility, the youth in the rural area, often face problem in terms of connectivity. And this is one of the factors for disparity. The other one is the concept of, is what I call educational difference, coupled with exposure. Youth in the rural area often lack the educational, digital literacy to be able to access all opportunities that we have in digital space. Same does not go for the youths in the, urban area. So another thing, again, is probably the social, cultural, and religious factor. Again, we also need to tie it into the concept of exposure. If you are opportune to get access to the facilities in the rural area, there are some mythological beliefs in our religion, that you are probably going to have access, that you are probably going to be able to break, which is, of course, not the same thing with youths in the urban, in the rural area. So these are some of the things that actually, affect the access to digital tools, digital skills, and digital literacy amongst youths that are in the rural area.
So what can be done to bridge this digital divide?
Thank you very much. A lot can be done. And again, I'm going to, cascade it back to the importance of digital skill acquisition. There is a clear cut between education using the bricks and the mortar, and also digital skills. We need to be intentional in carrying the message of the opportunities of the digital technology to the underserved community. The people that are also going to give them these skills needs to have a lot of exposure. What are we doing to our teachers in rural area schools? How are we ensuring that the facilities in those schools are also digitally inclined? Gone are the days where we use blackboard and chalk to teach. What are those things that are fascinating that young people in the digital area in the rural area can actually see to be able to embrace this technology? So skill acquisition and education is one. The other one is even distribution of infrastructural facility. And I would quickly look at the initiative of the government in this area. Just recently, 3MTT was actually, organized. This particular training program is expected to be focused on people in the underserved community, having access to facilities, having access to broadband connectivity, having access to the basic tools like computer system, internet access, and all those things. Those are the things that we can actually begin to start from. The other one is, if people do not understand the advantage of something, they might probably not have the eagerness to learn it. So we need to increase our advocacy on cascading or making sure that youth in the rural area or across board understand that there are enormous opportunities in the digital space. If you look at all our social media handles, what are our young people doing with TikTok? How can we ensure that a young man that is farming in Kara Namuda can actually teach somebody in the rural area the processes of farming in the village? If all these things are done and advocacy is clearly and properly done, we are going to begin to bridge the gap of digital device amongst different clusters or different stratas of young people in our society.
All right. Now, can you tell us what the primary barriers to digital access and inclusion for Nigerian youth are? What are the barriers they encounter to digital access?
The barriers are, thank you very much once again for that question. The barriers are extremely wide. Again, number one is educational disparity. What is the level of tools, infrastructures used in our educational institutions in the rural and urban area? That is number one. That is a question to answer. The other one is, again, what is the level of internet connectivity range between us or people living in the rural area and people living in urban area? And this also goes to people that are saddled with the responsibility of planning. We say we want to ensure that we have large amount of 5G network. How much of this broadband are being taken to the rural area? That is another one. The other one is affordability. Affordability is a barrier. How many people have that income to be able to say, I want to purchase 20 gig, 40 gig of data in a month? People that are in the rural area does not have the economic means. This is another barrier. Another one is religious beliefs, and socio-cultural factors. People in the rural area, especially people in the north, there are some mythological beliefs that they say, okay, if you access internet, you are probably going to see the negative aspect of things, and then it will soil your faith and all those things. These are some of the things that, that serves as a barrier. And we need to begin to break those barriers by making sure that youth understand not only, youth leverage on the positive aspect of the internet. I just made mention of opportunities in tech, opportunities in content creation. If you are able to pull all these things together, we'll begin to break these barriers and by extension, give opportunities for young people in all aspects of our, in all areas in Nigeria.
Okay, so what role can technology play in empowering Nigerian youth and creating new opportunities?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Tell us.
Let's look at it from even the opportunities of digital skills or digital tools in our educational system. I was saying it in one program that I attended yesterday, that gone are the days when you say you want to apply for jobs and you're carrying CVs to offices. You can always leverage on digital tools, digital skills. LinkedIn is there, Indeed is there, Fiverr is there, Upwork is there. These are some of the digital tools that can actually make you access job remotely and even within Nigeria. Let's now talk about skill acquisition. It's not necessary that you are actually fixated on technical skills. Green jobs are there. Even your craft that you have learned, carpentry, welding, fashion designing, all these things are skills that can be sold online. And this is where I'm going to call the Nigerian youths, to the opportunities in our social media space. What are we using our phones to do? Our phone is a money-making machine. We need to begin to, pivot from dancing on TikTok to showing our skills on TikTok. We need to pivot on using Facebook to post pictures of birthdays, to teaching people how to learn some of the little things that we have learned. And this would definitely bring income to us as Nigerian youth.
Talking about skills, what are the most in-demand skills for Nigerian youths in the current job market, and how do these align with the country's development goals?
Thank you very much. The statistics are there, and I'm going to just speak on 3 in-demand skills. Number 1 is green jobs. Everybody is clamoring for the actualization of climate change. SDG 13, I think. How many of us have skills on renewable energy? The physics, the can that you are using, the bottles, all these materials can actually be converted from waste to wealth. How many of us also understand the concept of sustainable agriculture? How do we track our soil health? How do we track irrigation? How do we track crop yields? These are some of the important skills that we need to talk about. Renewable energy is another very important skills, that people need to have. How many of us understand the conceptualization of solar power and the utilization of advantages in the sunlight? This is one skill. The other one is tech skills. Everything in this life is going digital. The system that you have as a young person, is not meant to watch films. Can you just look at your Google Meet and understand how to use it to teach? Can you just look at your, Snapchat and understand how to turn it to wealth? Digital skills in all facets of life endeavors is an in-demand skills. Another important thing is your professional development skills, which are soft skills. There's no place that will go that I'm not going to preach this. Nigeria needs youth that are critical thinkers. Nigeria needs youth that are problem solvers. Nigeria needs youth that are excellent communicators. Nigeria needs youth that can actually, project the beauty of our country to the diaspora. How many people need or have these skills? So I'll use this opportunity to call on our educational institutions to ensure that practicability of everything that is being learned in our institution is enforced in our curriculum. That is one. Two, we should also make sure that people that are under our tutelage are not fixated into traditional method of learning. You can decide to just change one of your classes to a hybrid learning system, thereby forcing the students to learn how to use some of these tools. At the end of the day, it's actually going to be to their advantage.
Well, Mr. Shamshudeen Aderoju, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much, and it's my pleasure.
All right. Nigeria's crude oil production rises to 1.3 million barrels per day in July, says OPEC. Federal government takes delivery of compressed natural gas-powered buses to ease transportation. Plus, oil prices retreat as market refocus on demand concerns. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Neka Oko, your guide.